That shit was like a London family. What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? All right, all right. Let me turn this one down a little bit first. So, tonight's a fun night. Yeah. What's good, Chris? Yo. Alright, so I'm trying something new today. This is fun. I'm actually like a little nervous. And you know, I don't normally care. But thank y'all. Y'all already know, drop them Beez in the chat for me. Drop them Beez in the chat. Here we go. So, I'm going live on Instagram on my phone and on Facebook on my laptop and trying to, coordinate this all. It's my first time doing it, and I haven't been on Facebook in like 3-4 years, to be honest. So, any suggestions y'all got, I appreciate it. But thank you to anybody on the Facebook side. Thank you to anyone on the IG side. Let me do a little introduction for people who have not seen me before. How am I going to do this? All right. Chris, I see you requested to go on live, but I'll hit you in a bit. Yo, brother Alexander. Brother President right there, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for going on Facebook from Brother Ted. Oh, that's what's up. Appreciate you. All right. So I got my theme song playing for those of y'all who can hear it. Yo, George Smitty. What's good? Yo, good to see all of y'all. Appreciate it. Chris, I got feedback. All right. Let me turn down this music. All right, that's my theme song, right? I play that because I like to get that hype. First of all, I like the music. It gets me hype, and it's all about having some fun. So I'm apologize. I don't know where I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look at Facebook. I'm gonna look at IG, but I gotta read chat questions and everything. Now, tonight we're gonna talk about credit. First of all, let me introduce myself because some of y'all are new, especially on Facebook. So I'm gonna look this way from Facebook, then I'll go back to y'all on IG. So I'm playing my Beez in the chat. Drop them Beez in the chat because that's my theme song. It gets me hyped. So whenever you hear that, make sure you are typing some little bees. I don't mean the letter B. I mean the little bug, the insect, honeybees. Put that emoji in the chat, right? Now, my name is Beez. My name is Bjorn Hendricks. Some people call me Beyond. Some people call me Bjorn. Some people call me Beez. But everybody calls me Beez. Now, as you can see, I am a brother of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. There we go, Sigma all day. So I welcome to my brothers from Sigma that are on here thanks to our new international director of Bigger and Better Business. So just to let you know a little bit more about me in case you don't know already, I'm called Business Builder Beez because I teach people how to scale multiple businesses so that they're autonomous. What does that mean? A lot of the times, now all of this is based off of, I'm gonna turn down the music just a little bit, make sure there's no more feedback, make sure y'all can hear me. All of this is based off of Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. In that book, he talks about the cash flow quadrant. Now, in the cash flow quadrant, we all start up here in this quadrant called employee. Not all, but most of us do start up here, right? As an employee. Then, we say those magic words and we want to work for ourselves. I'm tired of this. I want to work for myself. Then we become self-employed. Now, the problem with these two quadrants is that we're still trading our time for money. So there's only a certain amount of hours in the day, right? So you're not going to be able to earn, your earning potential is going to be capped. It's going to be limited because there's only a certain amount of hours and you're only getting paid off of your time. All right, so now that my theme song is done, I got to play some one of my playlists. Then I come right back to what we were saying. I like to have my music going during live. We're going to be on for like an hour to 90 minutes or so. Let me see, what are we going to play today? Oh, I know what we're playing. We're playing this. There we go. For those who don't know, I am Jamaican from Jamaica, Mandeville, Jamaica. And there we go. So I got to play some reggae. So now, the quadrant, the cash flow quadrant, right? It goes back, and I'm gonna check y'all on those comments in a second, IG. My bad, I'm talking to Facebook for a second, then I'll be right back there. Now, on the cash flow quadrant, we want to move to that next quadrant up here. It's called the business owner, right? When we're a business owner, now we put process, systems, and people in place. We hire people. That's the most important thing. I feel that, especially our community, we always forget to hire people in our business. We try to figure we could just do it all ourselves. That's not a real business. You're still self-employed. And that's not scalable, right? How many times you ever try to have a business and you're like, oh man, I'm working crazy hours. Now that's expected in the very beginning when you start your business. You got to find out what the process is, so you're grinding in it yourself. But then you should be able to elevate yourself up out of it and become a CEO, right? I'm not the owner of the business, I'm a CEO. I actually have a role that is to steer the direction of the company. I happen to also be the owner of all my companies, but I'm a CEO. I'm working to steer the company instead of in the frontline process. I hire professionals for the frontline process. So we want to be up here in this quadrant, the business owner. And then the quadrant below that is the investor. Now I don't even need to build out those processes and build out those systems and people and such. Now I just use the cash flow that I got from that quadrant to invest in other people who are going to do the same, right? So this cash flow quadrant, which came from Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad, is what I ended up using to build my business builders methodology. I left Microsoft and corporate America like 5 years ago. And in just 5 years' time, I've been able to amass quite an interesting portfolio of companies. And some people will say, oh, you're rich, but I'm not. I feel like I'm still striving for more. Some people say, oh, you teaching people, you a guru. I'm like, no, I'm a student. Because I always need to learn more. Things are always changing. I just happen to like telling people about it. So yeah, I'm teaching you what I'm doing, but I ain't stopping there, right? So with this business builders methodology on how you can scale multiple businesses. Oh, first, let me go back. One more thing. When I was working in corporate America for Microsoft and for Accenture, right? So, Accenture is one of the biggest consulting firms in the world. I had amassed certifications like CISSP, Certified Information System Security Professional. ITIL, focused on process improvement around technology, right? I'm a Lean IT black belt, right? I'm a Lean Six Sigma. I'm a Lean Six Sigma black belt, and I'm a Lean IT expert, right? I'm a PMP. I'm a Prince 2. So all of these different things, project management, process improvement, all of these things I took from my corporate job, my corporate career, and said, let me make it happen in a smaller way in my small business. That became, along with the cash flow quadrant from Robert Kiyosaki, became the concept or the foundation of the business builders methodology. Then I was like, damn, okay, I know how to scale these businesses properly, but everybody was like, yo, I started off in e-commerce, and everybody was like, hey, just, to keep running PPC ads and to keep getting more product, how do you, just put it on a credit card? I was like, you say that like that's that easy. Just put it on a credit card? I don't got no credit card like that. This was me just 5 years ago, right? I was like, yo, cash is king. I'm only using my debit card. Let me show you right now. I got this thing right here. This is one of my favorite wallets. In here, I keep my most active cards, right? And my license. All of these are like Bank of America cards and stuff like that, right? Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. You see the numbers. This is my wallet of debit cards for every bank account that I don't even carry nowhere. Where's the picture? Oh, I gotta hold the camera here. I don't even know. These are all debit cards, right? And I store this away, and I never touch it. And like I said, I'm Jamaican, right? So I grew up in a way where people was like, nah, forget about credit. Credit is bad. Debt is bad, right? I used to, people would say things like, use your debit card. If you can't pay cash for it, don't get it. I started to change my mindset because I started questioning and everything. And I still kind of do that to an extent. I'm not going to get something if I can't afford it, for sure. But that's talking about personal stuff. I can't afford to get this thing. I would typically, in the past, use my cash only. Now I use my credit card. But then the cash that I was going to use anyway, I pay it off right away. Before, by the end of the month. By the statement date. We're going to talk about that in a second. Now, why do I do that? That same credit card that I used to pay it off, the same cash that I had sitting in my bank that I would have used my debit card in the past, I paid off my credit card responsibly within that month, but I also got cash back rewards from the credit card. I also got travel points. I've amassed like 1 million travel points on certain cards that allows me to then say, hey, I'm gonna travel somewhere this weekend for personal relaxation, whatever. I'm just gonna use points. Free trip to Bali, free trip to Maldives, free, right? The cash back that I get pays for my credit, pays for my groceries, my utilities, right? This is the mindset shift that we need to make. And some of y'all out there probably been listening to me for a while, and you'd be like, oh, we already know this, Beez. But not everybody knows this. I realized that. I didn't know it 5 years ago. So I figured I gotta keep telling people as much as possible, right? So that's what we're gonna talk about tonight. Because most people know me also. Let me run through some of the companies I got. I got Verne. What's good, Verne? Hey, I love it. Let me see all my people over here too. Britt, can you drop the message there? I want y'all to all share this live on IG and on Facebook. Share it with somebody. Have them tap in. Britt, can you drop the message here so I could pin it too, please? If Britt is there, Business Builder Britt. There we go. See, this is Builder Britt. Y'all, listen, if y'all don't follow Business Builder Britt, you losing out. Pin comment. There we go. She's actually the COO of one of my companies. Let me start with that company then. No. I want y'all to see how I formed these companies, because a lot of people ask me, how do you choose the company that you're going to start, right? And I do something called vertical integration as well as horizontal integration. But all in all, I find a need first and then I fill it. So when I left Microsoft, I started out in e-commerce, like I said, Amazon FBA. I was selling private label products, sourcing them from China, fixing it, improving it a little bit, slapping my logo on it, sending it directly into, it keeps going blurry, so you just keep shifting. Sending it into Amazon, and they did all the fulfillment. I made my first $1 million there from behind my computer, right? Now, let me tell y'all also, for those who have never heard it before, I have four pillars of success. One is networking. You have to network. I used to hate that song when it came out, No New Friends. And everybody in our community especially was talking about no new friends, no new friends. I'm like, what, y'all crazy? New friends all day. Networking is what let me make that first company. Actually, no, the second company. I'll tell you in a moment. That second company to 7 figures without running any ads, right? So what did I do? Oh, let me continue the four pillars of success. So networking. Then you need to leave some people behind. This equates to surrounding yourself with the right people, right? So when I say leave some people behind, I'm saying, yo, I got people I love to death, good friends, family, everything, but we're not on the same journey. And when I have a $80,000 loss on something, which happened to me one time when I was just starting off, I had nobody I could talk to about that because they didn't even understand what that meant. Like, yo, you crazy? When I told them I'm spending $2,000 to buy a course that was gonna teach me Amazon FBA, everybody was like, what? Yo, you spending, I don't know about that. This might be a scam. They didn't have the same mindset that I had. So you gotta leave some people behind. It's not like you don't love them anymore. It's not like you ain't gonna pull them back up later. But you gotta get on your journey and surround yourself with the right people. Number 3, buy seats at tables, right? So I just told y'all I bought a course at that time and that started everything. That 2,000, it was actually like 1,500 investment led to my first $1 million. Led to multiples of millions after that. Led to every business that I got. Led to all the people that I have in my network now. right? So now buying seats at tables gets me in the room with the people that I know are doing things that I want to do. But while you're in there, you got to network. That first pillar. You can't just sit back and just soak up information. You can do that sometimes, but you're not making the best of it if you're not putting yourself out there. It's not just who you know. I'm watching this guy over here. I'm watching that guy over there. I know them. They don't know me, right? So you have to be known. You have to put yourself out there. So that buying seats at tables and networking while you're there and leaving the wrong people that you had around you, leaving them away for now, leaving them behind for now, all works together. And then the fourth pillar of success is that you have to build your own table. So while you're buying seats at other tables, different places, when I used to go to like Grant Cardone's 10X conference, I paid for the $10,000 seat. Everybody, and I was not balling or nothing at the time. And everybody was like, yo, you crazy, you could just get the $200 seat. But what happened when I got that $10,000 seat? I was next to some people that was like the other people who paid for $10,000 and they were grinding and killing it. So I put myself around the right people by buying a seat at the table of those people who are spending more money. Even in my neighborhood, I go to LA Fitness. I do because it's right around the corner, but also pay for like Equinox, which is on South Beach area. I'm in Miami, South Florida area, right? Why I pay for that expensive ass freaking place? There's other people paying for it, paying that expensive amount. It's kind of an exclusive thing. So if it is, let me go ahead and network with those people. I'm always putting myself in the right rooms, right? Now, with those four pillars of success, there's a foundation and a roof. The foundation is financial literacy. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I'm giving you all this whole long intro, but I got to because some of y'all don't know me, right? Financial literacy is the foundation. I got to make sure both y'all can see me. And then the roof is always seeking knowledge. If you do these 4, 5, 6 things, 4 pillars, foundation, and a roof, you can't go wrong, yo. And I don't know if people think it's fluff. Queen B, what's good, Mama B? Hope all is great. I don't know if people think that those things is fluff because recently I've been a motivational speaker. That's what people calling me. I've been going out and speaking and all this type of stuff. But I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm an inspirational speaker. I can't motivate you. You gotta motivate yourself. No matter what I do, you know the whole adage about you can lead a horse to water, you can't force them to drink. I can't motivate you. You gotta motivate yourself to get up, to do what you gotta do, to say, yo, I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna take that first step today because I'm telling you, I keep saying that it's only been 5 years because I can't believe what's happening. I can't believe what's happening in the last 1 year. During 2020, during a pandemic, probably 10 or maybe 20, I don't know, 10x my businesses. Anyway, let's keep it going. Now, I inspire instead of motivate, right? So let me go through these businesses that I mentioned. Started with e-commerce, like I told you, right? Then I said, I was in this group because I bought into that table, which was that mentorship, right? With other people who were also doing the same. And sometimes there's 2 things you're gonna get out of buying into mentorships. One is you're gonna learn from somebody's mistakes. That's only 2 ways that we learn in this world, either from mistakes or mentors. Get yourself a mentor. You're gonna make mistakes anyway, but why not learn from someone else's mistakes to try to skip ahead a little bit, get that head start, right? So now, here's what I did. I'm in this mentorship. I'm learning from the teacher in the mentorship, but I'm also networking with everybody else that was in the group. There was like 3,000 people in the group at a point. Now, because I was selling e-commerce, private labeling, and all 3,000 of us were, let's say 1,000. Let's say half or more were just bullshitting and weren't doing that, right? Sure. So 1,000 people. I started networking and saying, hey, what's the biggest pain point you got? I know what it was for me. And then I confirmed everybody else was the same. What was that? Dealing with the finance and solutions, soca in the background. You already know, music all day. So, and this is the music that hyped me up. That's why you see I'm always smiling and ready to go. So what was a big pain point in e-commerce for them? Make sure y'all are tapping in more people. Tap 3 to 5 people in so that they can hear this conversation, because our whole community needs to hear this, right? When we change our conversation, we change our compensation. Let me say that again. When we change our conversation, we change what we're talking about, we elevate. I used to have conversations with people about, yo, Netflix. Then I used to have conversations about, yo, I'm gonna put $100 on the club, go buy a bottle, get a table, section, whatever. Then it was conversations about, yo, $1,000. Now I'm having conversations about $1 million days. We talking about, yo, I made $1 million today. This is what my network, my people around me are doing. So we gotta change our conversation, and it helps us to elevate, to think about what else can we do so that we can achieve more. Let's go back to the businesses. Now everybody told me that their biggest problem in e-commerce was dealing with China, dealing with the supply chain management. Oh man, I don't speak Chinese, Mandarin, so how am I gonna know if the person is scamming me? Oh, how do I get the right shipper, the right freight forwarder to ship my goods from there to Amazon? So I was like, okay, say less. So I first created a service that helped me. That service took care of all of my needs in China. Then I used process, systems, and people to automate it. Then I told everybody in that group, where there was 3,000 people, let's say 1,000, that are actively selling. What happened with that? Immediately, because I was networking with them, you see how all this is connected, right? Because I was networking with them, immediately they trusted me. They know, like, and trust me. That's what it takes for people to buy from you and to rock with you. They gotta know, like, and trust you. You gotta let them know more about you. So all of them decided, oh, Beez, when they called me Bjorn mostly at that time, I think keep going blurry over here. There we go. They were like, Beez said, check out this business. All right, let's check it out. 1,000 customers immediately. You feel me? Connie, what's good, Connie? Listen, again, on IG, y'all. So I'm doing IG and Facebook, Connie. This is my first time trying this. On IG, another person y'all need to follow, Connie Falls, Connie S. Falls on IG. The S is for systems. She knows what I'm talking about here. Process, systems, and people in order to elevate. Now, I immediately had this business that I didn't have to advertise to nobody. I didn't even have social media for it at the time, for a good while, because I had immediately had customers. So when people come to me and they say, yo, I got this business idea and I think it'll really do great, I'm always hesitant to give them the green light for it. I never squash anybody's dreams, because you can make it happen for sure, but why not reduce your risk a little bit? Why not make it a little bit easier for yourself in the beginning? Why not, instead of following your passion in the beginning, follow the money? Because if money is here, this is what happened in Amazon FBA. I didn't just go willy-nilly and say, hey, I'm gonna sell this comb. Oh, you know what? I didn't do my patented combing to start my live because I was so busy focusing on both of these. This is a little thing that people know with me, a Beezism. But anyway, I didn't choose this product to sell because I was like, yo, I think people gonna love this. No. I chose this product, not really this product, but I chose this product to sell because I did the research and saw what was already trending on Amazon and what was not too difficult to break into that niche, because it didn't have too many reviews on it. Because if somebody has 1,000 reviews and I break in with just 100, most people are just gonna choose the one with more reviews. And we both got 5 stars, but they got 1,000 reviews, so it's harder to break in. So the data is what made me choose that business model, that product to get into. So it should be the same thing in any business that you're gonna start. Don't just go off of passion initially. Later on, yes, you're already cash flowing in one business and you always had this passion of selling Apple remotes or whatever, then yeah, go ahead. So now I had 2 businesses. That's called Seller Kai. This business is still one of my most profitable. We help e-commerce sellers to deal with everything in China. finding the suppliers, inspections, photography out there, even patents and trademarking out there, freight forwarding, the shipping directly into Amazon, everything. Then I got into another aspect of e-commerce called drop shipping. With drop shipping, it required me to get really good at marketing. So eventually, after doing, mastering marketing within my business, I spun that out and it became its own business that did the marketing for this business, but also had its own external customers. So now I had my e-commerce company, I had my supply chain management company, I had a marketing company, and the way that I was scaling was by hiring virtual workers, virtual assistants from the Philippines, because it was a lower cost salary, cost of living for them. So I was able to, because I didn't have that much money. I still wasn't great on credit at this point, but I was cash flowing because of these strategies that I used. Now I was like, okay, I'm getting better. I went through some terrible employees from the Philippines at one point, but I got better at vetting, better at interviewing, better at creating a funnel in order to, get the right ones through. What do you think I did? Anybody? What do y'all think I do? Big Blue Goat, you looking for China suppliers? Text my community number, Business Builder Brit or Lala. Can you put my community number up there for me, please? And you text my community number or go to the page Seller Kai on IG and on, I think it's Seller Kai World on Facebook, and we'll get you right. So what do you think I did? If now I mastered dealing with HR, dealing with hiring, dealing with management, because that's another important factor with our businesses. We cannot just hire people and just think that that's the end of it. We got to manage them too. So what y'all think I did? Anybody? Any questions? Any thoughts on what y'all think I did? Oh, Camda said I bought a course. Listen, Camda third. That is the way that I start most businesses nowadays. I buy a course first because I'm like, okay, I want to get into this because I've seen the potential. Let me learn some mistakes from someone else first. And let me get into a network of other people doing it. So yes, that is one thing. But what did I do after I was mastering already the HR stuff? I decided to spin it out and it became another company. Queen Bee, supply and demand. Why? Because every entrepreneur that I was dealing with in all of these different communities needed VAs. I needed them. They needed them. So that became ATAC Solutions. That's the one that Business Builder Brit, she's part of the team there. She's my COO. I call her my second brain. Thank goodness for her and helping me in the background with a lot of things. Right? So now I had a staffing and HR company that supported all of my internal companies, but also had its own external clients. It kept going. I'm not going to go through each business because we got to talk credit. I also have I said the marketing. I have a Capital Beez is my financial company. So we do business lending, right? Business funding. We do business credit building, ebooks on how you could restore your own credit, all types of things. Dominicus Motors. Sometimes I got to think of the names. Dominicus Motors. That's my car rental company. I learned how to turn a liability into an asset, right? Now somebody told me, my girl Princess Dior and my brother Maddie, they told me about this. It was like, yo, you could just get a car, put it on Turo, have it rented out. You're gonna get money to pay the car note and make money. I was like, wait, what? I was like, what you telling me right now? So last year, I go all in on stuff, and I was like, okay, let's go. Got the McLaren, I got some exotic cars. I don't recommend everybody start the same way I did with the exotics. You shouldn't. But I went all in. I even got a warehouse. We got all the cars in there. We renting out cars. I got my team handling it. Now I get to drive all these exotic cars for free. Just like how I'm using my credit cards to pay for everything and then getting cash back so that I don't pay for groceries. Electricity's free, water's free, right? Now there's ways that I do this called manufacturer spend, but we're gonna save manufacturer spend for another discussion. So now let's get into credit. The first thing that I want everybody to know is that your personal credit is extremely important. And I underestimated it like you wouldn't believe back in the day. I was like, nah, cash only. Then I was like, yo, I'm just gonna make enough money that I could just pay for everything and I'm good. Then I was like, yo, I'm gonna start a business and I'm just gonna make enough money so I can pay for itself and I won't get into no debt. But OPM, other people's money, is so important. This is what the rich in this country, in this world do. There's only 3 ways in this country, in this world, that you're gonna make money, that you're gonna create wealth. 1, build a business. That's where I mainly rely. 2, real estate. I know people who say, nah, I'm not gonna be an entrepreneur. I just wanna keep my 9 to 5, but they still wanna create wealth. Yeah, you could do that in real estate. 3, the financial markets, stocks, Forex and such, right? You can make money on all of those things, but here's my thing. I can make money buying stocks and I make tons of it doing it. However, I'll never make as much money as the person who owns all the stocks, the majority of the stocks, the founder that has the majority shareholder or whatever. So I prefer to build that value and create that wealth in my own businesses while I dabble in real estate and while I also dabble in the financial markets. You feel me? All right. So now let's go back to credit. To fund all of these business ideas, it was always like, damn, what do I do with credit? Credit is the only thing that we can control. It's the only thing we can control. I went into a bank to try to get a loan for real estate and they were like, nah, I had good credit at the time, 760 or so, maybe 780. And they were like, nah, we're not lending right now. The economy, we're not sure, blah, blah. I was like, what? You gave me, it was almost like $50,000 in a business credit card, but won't give me a loan for it was like $25K that I needed or something to get property? It made no sense to me. Then I said, okay, F this, I'm focusing on credit. In just 3 years' time, I started at about 50, 60, 70,000 in credit, taking that to a little bit over $1 million in credit, right? How? Because I don't stop. Y'all remember this, what I showed y'all? Right, this way, the cards and stuff. Tons of cards. This is just one of these little wallet things with the RFID blocker. Why? Because I keep going out and getting more and more funded. Now, I'm not doing it irresponsibly. Is that the right word? Irresponsible? Yeah. I'm not doing it in a bad way. I'm doing it where I get this credit, I use it for an asset, for an income producing asset that I'm then able to pay off the credit with no problem. Now, I also know how to get credit cards, for example, that are 12 to 18 months interest free. So I got 12 to 18 months to run up the bag that I'm gonna then use, that's gonna produce me cash flow that I then pay off that initial credit usage, and then I'm good to go. You see what I'm saying? Now keep in mind, I don't do this in my personal credit. I'm gonna talk about personal credit today, but there's a difference between personal credit and business credit. You gotta start on the personal credit because there used to be this time where you hear a lot of people talk about, yo, just build your business credit. Then you could get loans without even needing a PG, personal guarantee. That's not true anymore. 98% of banks nowadays require a PG. That's about that right statistic. About 98% of banks require a PG, personal guarantee. So you gotta get your personal guarantee strong, your personal credit strong first, right? Now, what are the elements of credit that we all need to know? First is how much you owe. No, I'm sorry. Your payment history is first. That makes up 35% of your credit score. So it's not just about your score, it's your credit profile. But first, what affects your score is 35% is made up by your payment history. If you got one late payment, it's gonna negatively affect you in a way that you wouldn't believe. Over the last 5 years, it'll still mess with you. The next thing is how much you owe, your utilization, your credit utilization, right? That makes up 30%. So some of y'all might have heard that if you get your utilization, keep your utilization below 30%, then that's the good thing for you, right? That's not exactly true. It's true that nothing bad will happen to you if it's below 30%, but nothing good is going to happen to you. It's not going to increase your score. The only way for it to increase your score is keep it below 10%. The magic range is between 2 to 6. I keep mine right around 4% all the time. That gives the most impact. Some people will say just keep it at 0 and that will give the most, but 2 to 6 is where I've seen the most impact. And that'll help your score, drive up your score. Next is the length of credit history. If I go open up a bunch of cards right now, it's gonna drive down my average length of credit, even though I got a 20-year-old credit card or a loan or whatever. It's gonna drive down the average age of my credit if I go open up a bunch on my personal. Then the last two aspects of it is new credit. So like how many inquiries that you have because you've been seeking credit. You've been going out and getting a bunch of credit cards and they've been putting inquiries on your report. So that makes up 10%. And the other thing that makes up the last 10% is your credit mix. You don't only want credit cards. You want to have mortgage loan, auto loan, installment loans, credit cards. You have a mixture, and that's the last 10% of your credit score, right? Now, once you do this, you improve your score. Your credit mix, your credit profile with all of these things helps you to look stronger for underwriting. Now you could do these, you could get these loans that are PG, but then the loan itself is gonna be in your business name. If I get a credit card in my personal name and I run it up to the max, if my credit utilization is gonna shoot, my credit score is gonna go down, it's gonna affect me to be able to get more lending. But if I get a credit card using a PG in my personal, but the credit card's in my business name, and I run it up to the max, they're gonna increase my credit limit. Yo, I think that's like the craziest thing ever. And this has been a secret that I believe many in our community never knew, right? We didn't think it was possible to start businesses. But this is what our counterparts in other communities were doing. Yo, get credit. Yo, use that credit. I know people who's using credit and then they go bankrupt, they file for bankruptcy and hey, wipe away that credit. I'm not telling y'all to do that. I'm just telling you how businesses work. The United States is a corporation. Look it up. Look it up. The United States is a corporation. It's not a country. I'm not saying that just to be, like to create some sort of analogy. I'm telling you, look it up. You'll see in the laws, it says the United States is a corporation, right? So everything that happens, all of the laws within this corporation reflects business practices of a corporation. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why getting a business and utilizing the laws that are in favor of corporations for this larger corporation called the United States is the best way to create your wealth and create your legacy and to just continue to amazing things will happen. All right? So now, let's see where we're gonna go into with it. So let me explain a quick thing about the business credit side. There's multiple, first of all, a lot of entrepreneurs I've found don't even know what Dun & Bradstreet is. Now, it doesn't matter as much anymore, but it is important that you at least know it. The reason why it doesn't matter as much anymore is because most banks are not looking at your Dun & Bradstreet's, your DUNS number, your Paydex score, which is the business credit score, like how you got your FICO score and your personal. Your Paydex score is controlled by Dun & Bradstreet. We got Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian and personal. Well, we got Dun & Bradstreet, Experian business, TransUnion business, and the business side. And it's important for you to know that this thing exists, your DUNS number. It's important for you to then go ahead and put your information on Dun & Bradstreet so that your business is reflected the way you want it to be reflected. But it's not as important to build up your Paydex score as people think anymore until later on when you reach corporate credit. Corporate credit is different from business credit. I'll talk about that later. So now, if you got this business credit, your personal credit rolling, and you get the PG for your business credit, the only thing that happens over here is that you get inquiries, right? Because they put a hard inquiry on your personal credit in order to say, okay, we're gonna loan you money in your business. And remember I said inquiries is that new credit aspect, which is just 10% of your score. Okay, you get a couple inquiries. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I do it. Every other month, I get a couple inquiries. I get a loan in my business. I know how to remove these inquiries within a month. To be honest, some of them I know how to remove within 24 hours. Right? I got an ebook that tells you how to do it. In capital Beez, another one of my companies, the financial company, right? So now, a month later, I can go apply for more loans because my credit still looks perfect. My personal credit still looks perfect. I removed the inquiry, nothing changed. I apply for another loan, get more inquiries. I got access to more capital in my business. I remove the inquiry again over here. Next month again, I go and apply for more loans. I've amassed $1 million in business credit. Personal credit is a couple $100,000. Let me tell y'all another trick on the personal credit side. Every 6 months, listen, I had a credit card way back in the day, and I never called them up and said anything like, hey, can I get a credit limit increase? Never. I didn't even want to talk to them. Now I keep a spreadsheet of all my cards. I keep a spreadsheet of the statement date, the due date. I'll explain what those 2 dates are and why this is the most important 2 things you need to know when it comes to your personal credit. The statement date, the due date, the last date that I gotta increase, the what else? What the limit is, all that type of stuff on this spreadsheet. And every 6 months, I hit them up in the app. I'd like to request a credit limit increase. You feel me? Joshua Rico, what's good? Save the live. I don't even know how to save it over here on Facebook, but I will save it over here on IG. I'm sure this thing I'm using will help me to save it on Facebook. I don't know, but no worries. Check my IG, Business Builder Beez, and you'll be able to get it there for sure. All right. So now, where was I? Dang it, where was I? I just lost it. What was I doing? Anybody on IG, tell me where I was just a second ago, please. I just totally lost it. The date. Yes, thank you. Reporting date and all that stuff, right? And the spreadsheet. Now, I get an increase every single 6 months, right? Here's a secret. If you use Navy Federal Credit Union, if you could get into them, and I got ways that you could get into them too, but I won't talk about that right now. Navy Federal lets you request an increase every 3 months. Yo, I got multiple cards from Navy Federal. One of them started at like 7,500 or something, and just continues to climb. Every 3 months, I'm able to request a credit limit increase. It's called the 93 rule, 90/3 or 3/90 rule. Because every 90 days, 91/3 rule. Every 91 days or every 3 credit statements, right? Credit cycles, whatever. You can request either a credit limit increase or a new card. So you could get multiple cards from Navy Federal, request multiple credit limit increases. You could even say, let me take, hold on, this thing says private chat. What I gotta do here? Let me see. Am I in the right thing? All right. Okay. I'll get back to chat. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. You can have bad credit at the beginning of the year, and by the end of the year, if you do certain tactics, you could be in the 700s pretty easily. Mind you, one of the hardest part is if you have a high credit utilization. That's gonna be harder. Even harder than removing the late payment, which affects you the most. Because sometimes getting the late payment, there's things you could do. There's a goodwill letter you could send. There's a way to remove the account completely. I won't talk about that right now. But your utilization, if you're spending a bunch on cards, paying it off if you don't have a way to pay it off already, that's sometimes the hardest part of it. But you could easily get to the 700s. And I went from 550 something to 820 in the course of like 2 years or something like that. Right now I'm at like 780 or something like that. Why? Because I just got some more cards for the fleet. My credit score drops a little bit. I go remove the inquiries. It rises again. And then 2 months later, I figure out what's the next asset that I'm gonna acquire. 91.3 rule, Ramel, what's good? Ramel is RPX, I think. I know the name of it now. I can't remember the face right now because I can't see the little image. But yeah, so I keep getting credit limit increases in every card. Every 6 months for every other institution, every 3 months for Navy Federal. And what does that also do? That increases my score more because now I have access to more credit. My utilization stays way lower. I already was keeping it between 2 and 6 anyway, but because my limits increase, my utilization is lower. So this is a tactic that you could use to also help you with that aspect of your utilization. You feel me? If y'all liking this, I want to see y'all drop some B's in the chat. If y'all liking what you're hearing tonight, this is basic for some people in my crew, in my network, right? This is why I say you got to surround yourself with the right people, because the people I got around me, we all know this already, right? But I wanted to start from basics. That's why it's back to basics tonight, all about credit, because I know there's a few new people tapping in, especially with me on Facebook now, right? So your credit utilization being important. Thank you. B's in the chat. Drop them B's in the chat. There we go. I love it. That keeps me hyped. That keeps me going. I'm telling you. Let's get back to the business credit now. Did you know, I've been telling y'all about PG, how you do a personal guarantee, and it requires your personal credit in order to get this loan in your business side, right? Did you know that there's been this thing that's come up in the last few years called FinTech, financial technology platforms? Right? Tevin said, so you make it look like 2 and 6. What do you mean, Tevin? You're talking about 2 and 6. You're talking about the increases? It's every 3 months and every 6 months, if that's what you're talking about. And I'm sorry, I'm not. Normally when I'm on IG, I'm answering the whole comments and questions, but right now I'm looking back and forth, so this is hard. And I like answering questions direct, so I'm gonna have to figure out a new format for the show where I'll only look at questions, all right? So, credit utilization. Oh, yes. Between 2 and 6% is the range that I keep my credit utilization. So I always stay somewhere right around 4. But anywhere between 2 and 6% is the magic range that gives you the most, movement on your credit score to rise. All right. So FinTech, this whole FinTech revolution has been insanely amazing. Mind you, some of them is not that useful. Like, you're going to hear me talk, and some other people talk about Divvy, right? Brex, Roll, RHO, Roll. All of those are great FinTech platforms, but they act as charge cards, which is cool. But if I'm getting credit cards that's giving me 12 to 18 months to pay off, I want more of those. And the only way to get those is the PG. But what FinTech does, FinTech gets you these credit cards without a PG. They base it off of your revenue. Now, if you were going to get it in your personal name, it's going to be based off of your income. We don't want stuff in our personal name anyway, right? Once we get enough so that our credit score is good, we want everything in our business name. So now if you get it in your business name, it's going to be based off of your business revenue, your cash flow within your business, right? So it's not going to work if you're starting a brand new business, don't got no cash flow, never had no big bank history. Bluefy, fresh vibes only. What's good? All my blue and white, much love. Robert Eason, hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Listen, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Robert, tap in every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, I go live. I've been doing this, since last year sometime, and I've only added more and more stuff, but I came back this time to start at the basics because a lot of people don't know these basics. So, in FinTech, Torpego is a little bit better than Divvy and Roll. Torpego it's still the charge card basis where you got to pay it off every 30 days, but they give you a little bit more where you can carry a balance of, I think maybe 10% of the balance or something like that. I forget exactly right now, right? Now, one of my favorite FinTechs, if y'all go to my IG, and there's a link in the bio, right? And if anyone on my team is on there right now and can drop the link to my to the Clearco funding, trust me, this is not just an affiliate thing where I'm like, yo, click my link. If you click my link, then my rep actually gets it, and I worked out a partnership with them. Clearco, they have done something amazing. With Clearco, Shika, what's good, Shika? Bad Boy Reggie, what's good? RPX, yo, much love. Clearco, they'll evaluate your business cash flow and revenue over. I think they require up to like 6 months of bank statements or something. Plus, they want to look at your merchant account. What are you using for your merchant account? Real side note, real quick. That's important too. When we're running businesses, don't be trying to run a business telling people to cash app you. Don't be running a business telling them, yo, hit me in PayPal. That ain't helping. Get a merchant account. Now, to be honest, PayPal Business and Stripe are not true merchant accounts, but they are merchant accounts in the sense that that's what you want to have processing your business, processing your transactions. I'll tell y'all a little trick. PayPal has this thing called working capital loans. Stripe also has it. And the more that they see that you are spending and more transactions that's been, not spending, earning, and more transactions that have been coming through, Big Troom CEO, another member of the Business Builders, is a merchant service provider. Check them out, check them out. All right. Now, the more that you're spending is the more, not spending, I keep saying that, the more that you're earning in there, the more transactions, they'll give you working capital loans, which have great terms, right? But let's go back. Clearco will look at your merchant account, see the transactions that's been coming in, and then they'll make you an offer. First of all, they'll give you valuation on your business. One of my businesses, and I do this with every business. This is why I got multiple businesses. Go look up Donald Trump and see how many companies he got. I'm using him as an example because he knows how to take advantage of the system. He ain't doing nothing illegal with it. He's just taking advantage of the laws that exist. He has over 1,000 LLCs. I got 11. Well, no, actually I got a couple that are holding companies too, but I got 11 businesses that are actually operating. I don't know, I'm sorry, I just closed one. 10. Closed my trucking company. I'll explain why another time. But he uses that. He uses these multiple businesses as a consortium in order to help each other, extend each other credit, and to get more funding from different sources, right? So, what was that? Just heard something. Anyway, so Clearco now will let you apply in all of your businesses, and they will give a valuation on your company, and then they'll offer you something like, for example, one of my companies, they offered me $110,000 in like an hour. They offered me $110,000. It didn't even take me that long. Now, what they do is they pull a percentage. You can determine which percentage you want. You choose. They say, I want this 100,000 because with this 100,000, they're going to take out 19%. Be like, nah, I just want 80,000. They'll take out 12%, whatever it may be. You choose. And then they take a percentage of every single transaction that comes after that. So they just gave me $110,000 up front that I could then use for marketing to generate more revenue. What did I tell y'all? OPM, other people's money, right? You have any trucks for sale, fam? Maybe I might have one more because the other one, we'll talk. Hit me up on that for sure. Hit me up on my community number, Recession Resolutions. All right. Now, they gave me this money based off of money that I was already making. This is where they say the rich gets richer, right? Because if you already start generating this revenue, other things just come to you. Everything just opens up for you. You feel me? But you got to take that first step. You got to make it happen, right? So the good thing about this is, remember, if you have multiple merchant accounts, and let's say I gave Clearco my PayPal account, which was running a bunch of transactions, and they say, okay, we'll give you $110,000 based off of that alone, and then we'll take, 15% off of every transaction that comes through from here, going forward until you pay it off. Well, what if I just say, hey, let me just shift over here and take all payments through here instead of Stripe? You don't even have to pay back like a monthly amount or anything to this. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid, right? I'm not saying to do that. Don't drip them because you want to get more money from them later. But if you're in a pinch and you don't want them to take all the money right away, shift more of your transactions over here and then you're good to go. You feel me? All right. Now, oh man, there's so many places to go with this. I'm trying to think. Let me take a pause and give you a little commercial break. Cause I gotta tell y'all about what I offer before I get into a little bit more credit. Now I want y'all to get y'all questions ready. get your questions. So I'm going to answer some questions as we wrap into that last half an hour of Beez Talks. So one of my other companies is called the Business Builders Institute, right? And the Business Builders Institute, I teach all of this. I teach people how to be an entrepreneur, how to use the Business Builders methodology, which is based on how do you scale with process, systems, and people, because we're in this quadrant, right? The cash flow quadrant. We're business owners. We're not employees. We're not self-employed. So, now we're business owners and investors. So how do you scale with process, systems, and people? How do you fund it with all of these different banks and financial institutions that I'm talking about? Because it's important to go to credit unions first more than the big banks, because you'll get more from the credit union. It's important to use fintech. It's important to stack your applications to minimize the amount of inquiries you get. It's important to remove the inquiries so that you can run it up again later. All of this stuff comes together. And then, what business model to even get into? I told y'all I'm doing the Turo game, the car rental game. I say the Turo game because that's where I started, because I heard of this platform called Turo where you can rent out your car. But it ain't the only one. There's Hire Car, there's Fetch Truck, there's Avail, there's a bunch of them. Oliver, what's good? Brethren, all right. So you can use all of these different services and generating cash. So another company that I got is a home healthcare business. I'm giving y'all all the sauce of everything that I'm doing right now. Now, my home healthcare business is insane because most people don't realize the power in being a middleman. They think, I don't want to be a middleman. Yo, the power in being a middleman is underestimated. You feel me? With a middleman business, imagine this healthcare business that I got, where all I'm doing, I don't know nothing about healthcare. I don't know nothing, I'm not a PhD or nothing, I'm not a doctor or whatever. But all I'm doing is finding nurses that I then staff and send out to the homes. So I'm just a staffing agency and I get paid. I collect the cut. I'm that middleman. Or let's talk about government contracting. My guy Jason White, Jay White, part of my hive, right? In government contracting, I'm just going to take this government contract and then I'm going to sub it out to someone else and they're going to do it. And I collect the money, right? The power in middleman, right? But we underestimate that so much. My guy Jay White making 7 figures easily. Maybe probably 8 figures potentially. Government contract. My guy Brad, who taught me all about the home healthcare thing. 9-figure business, not 9-figure. $9 million business or so. Without, I think he spends maybe like 8 hours a week in his business running payroll or something like that. And I keep telling him, you don't even need to do that. Hire one of the VAs from my company, ATAC, and take that off your plate too. He travels the world 6 months out of the year. This is what our people are doing, but it's a small percentage. So this is why I say I don't motivate, I inspire, because I can show you things that you can do. But you got to motivate yourself to make it happen. You feel me? So in the Business Builders Institute, announcement for everyone, old people, new people, this is new to y'all. But I used to have 2 offerings. The Business Builders Roundtable, which is the live thing that happens regularly. Twice a week we meet for the entire year. It was a calendar year subscription. And then I had the Academy, the Business Builders Academy, which was a digital product where, for people who like to go through things slowly on their own pace. But as of this week, we are merging the 2 under the umbrella of the Business Builders Institute. You get both the Academy, the Roundtable, working with me directly twice a week. We meeting, we talking. Everybody got my direct number. We meet up. We do everything together. And you get the Academy, which is the repository of information. You get my network. Listen, I brought a person every single week to speak on my roundtable. Because we meet twice a week, so one day of the week is me speaking. The next day I bring in someone from my network. These other amazing entrepreneurs that I have in my network. Because why? I'm networking. Remember how I started this all off? The importance of networking? I wouldn't have met Brad, who taught me the healthcare play, had I not been networking. I wouldn't have met Gooch, who also teaching me the healthcare play. I wouldn't have met Terrence, who showed me that you can make a 7-figure cleaning company. I wouldn't have met Alex Good Energy, trucking. My guy and another mentor, him 500. He helped me level up in credit. He helped me also level up in trust. I didn't even talk about the power of using a trust and how we can not only pass on wealth, but how we can live in the trust so that we have a life of freedom. All of these things in the Business Builders Institute, the strategies you can implement, plus all of the companies that I own then give you access. You get priority access to those companies. So you can skip the line for ATAC. You could get the priority access on all the cars in Dominicans. You could marketing, everything. Oliver said tax benefits. My guy, that's the tax guru right there, Oliver Brown, on the Facebook side right here. I don't know if y'all can see each other. I don't even know how this Facebook thing works over here. I'm going to get better on Facebook. It's been a long time. But the Business Builders Institute has now merged the Roundtable and the Academy. We also give you all the ebooks that I told you I sell. Ebooks based on how to fix your credit. Ebooks how to remove a bankruptcy. I just did that for one of my good friends the other day. I don't know if he's on here. How to remove all inquiries so that you can run these plays. These are ebooks that I sell that I'm giving to you for free so that you can sell them and white label it and sell it as your own. So it's another immediate source of revenue when you join the Business Builders Institute. It's also an immediate source of revenue because you could then host your cars with my Dominicus Motors business. So you could buy cars. I show you how to get cars. You could buy those cars, send it to me. We host it in Miami and collect a percentage, and you getting passive income from that. And then you also got a hot car that you can drive sometimes when you want to, right? I got a bunch of exotic cars that I just drive for fun sometimes, but I don't even like driving them too much because I want them to be making money for me instead, right? So yes, I had to make that announcement. Commercial's over, but the Business Builders Institute has merged the Roundtable and the Academy plus all of these other services into one comprehensive package. And no longer is the Roundtable going to end at the calendar year. This is just going to keep going. All right? So, had to let y'all know. You feel me? Man, we just had a discussion on the Roundtable from my guy, Pete Better, who we got into a religious trust. Not everybody knows about the religious trust. This is a different type of trust because there's multiple types of trust. And we found out some stuff, our mind was blown. How do you sign up? You can either click the link in my bio and you'll see it says to sign up. LV and my team, if you guys, Michael, LV, please make sure that the link is available for the one purchase already. I'm sorry, my team hate me sometimes because I just be announcing stuff and they be like, hold up, we ain't ready yet. So the merge is happening this week. But no matter if you get in, then you're able to you get access to everything. The cost is $49.97, right? So everything, all of this different value added up, we narrowed it down, $49.97. If you are between the ages of 16 and 21, hit up the community number, talk to my nonprofit that I created called The Bag, Building Assets Generationally, and you can get a scholarship to join the Roundtable. I got young adults in the Roundtable who are killing it, even better than some adults that I know. Shout out to my guy, my little nephew, Ashan. Where is he? I don't know if he's on here right now. But he killing it. Everything I tell him, everything I show him, everything I teach him, everyone that I bring around him, he absorbs it like that and executes right away. Wrote his own few ebooks already. Started a clothing line. You feel me? Drew over here said that last call was crazy. It was crazy. That shit blew a lot of people's minds, but it is what it is. Anyway, this ain't a sales night. I ain't just trying to sell y'all on this. It's not about selling either because honestly, I don't talk about the course stuff as much. Why? Because I don't want nobody to think I'm just another person trying to make money on courses. I got companies. Remember the companies I explained? I remember somebody, a hater, one day posted on Facebook. I hope you're watching right now, whoever you were. And they were like, oh, you own all these companies. Well, how are you supposed to manage all these companies if it's just one person? I think you're not telling the truth. Yeah, process systems and people, stupid. Anyway, and they were like, well, I don't know if these companies are real because I don't see no websites for them. DominicusMotors.com, ATACSolutions.com, CapitalBeez.com, SellerKai.com. Go on LinkedIn, look for the pages. Go on Facebook, look for the business pages. What else? Listen. I ain't even got to prove nothing to nobody. But my goal is not to sell to y'all. I give away this information for free. If you feel that you can manage on your own, more power to you. I hope you can. I give away all the information. My roundtable members probably like, yo, why you keep telling them about this and that? But I give it away. I just happen to also have a paid offering where it takes my time for me to help you to level up personally, right? Ages, actually nice. If you're between the age of 16 and 21, then you can get that scholarship. Contact the Bag Inc. BAG. Go on my page on IG, and my link tree is there, and then you'll be able to. Actually, I need to put a link on my Business Builders page, the businessbuilders.training. But for now, just go on IG. You can hit the text me button, and then we can start texting through there. Okay? Not DM, but there's a button that says text me, and then you get into my community discussion, and I answer it personally in community. I do have one executive assistant that does help me and keep me in track. Like, hey, you forgot to do this, but it is me responding to y'all. All right, Lala Ann right there. She said the Bag Inc. Check out the Bag to get a scholarship if you're between the ages of 16 and 21. Okay, let's keep it going. Right now, questions. Do we got any questions before I jump into the last piece of this? Now I see people want to come on live, but I don't know if I should bring anyone on live right now. I see Tevin, I see you, but I got. If I'm on live here, I don't got nobody over here. So drop your question instead. Drop your questions here on Facebook if you got any, and I'm happy to help. All right? I'm happy to share this. I've become so excited by the things that I've uncovered, the secrets of this world, this country, that we didn't even know the game existed, much less the rules on how to play it. And I'm slowly uncovering those rules. And I'm not just keeping it for myself because I'd be selfish. So I'm passing it on. Speedway Dave, it's not just a year anymore. It's going to keep going perpetually. All right? Queenie North Phillip, yes, you can ask anything. Ask anything right now. I'll answer what I can today. Don't ask me. I mean, if you ask me like, okay, I got this credit score, how do I do this and blah, blah, it's impossible for me to give you that type of answer. But ask me anything about credit. Ask me anything about business credit. Ask me anything about scaling a business. Ask me anything about managing VAs, employees. Ask me anything about which business model to get into. Ask me anything about anything. AMA, ask me anything, and then I got you. We only gonna go for about another 20 minutes, so drop them questions and let's go. Here we go. Tevin says, should one get business loans now versus business credit cards in the market now? Get both. If you go to my company, CapitalBeez, CapitalBeez.com, or send an email to funding@CapitalBeez.com, we offer a program where we go and get them from multiple places for you. And we mix it between credit cards, lines of credit, loans, all of this stuff, and minimize the amount of inquiries that you get at one time. So 100% get both. In the market now, it doesn't matter, get both. Melly the Specialist says, Beez, what's your main source you would recommend for someone to get started? So somebody else said it earlier. You don't know what business to get into, right? Because if you're saying started, I'm assuming you mean from that level. I don't even know what to get into. Find a mentor. Find a course of someone that's already doing something that you want to do, and then that's going to give you that head start. You still got to execute. You still got to make your own mistakes. But you get a head start, and you get a community of people who's also in the same boat as you, doing the same thing as you. And then you're able to then level up even more. So 100% start there. Javi or Javi, the real one, said, how do we remove inquiry in 24 hours? All right. Experian, all you got to do is call them up. But make sure you ask for the fraud department. Now there's a specific script that you gotta say, and it's a little bit hard for me to go through all that script, but basically you're just telling them, yo, there's fraud, that is not my stuff, remove it. Now you could quote specific laws, right? There's specific laws, 15 USC, oh my goodness, I can't remember which one it is. Any of my people from Umar and the Bureau of Bullies on here? 15 USC 6801 or something. I forget which laws, but there are specific laws that you can quote when you speak to them, and they have to remove those inquiries. The credit bureaus are not government agencies. They're private companies that have assumed the responsibility of reporting credit. So go around their head, cite the laws that exist, and they got to comply. For the other bureaus, it's a little bit harder because they want more information from you before they'll remove it. But you can stick with it and just keep calling and get called back and call somebody else, and you can make it happen. Queenie North Philly said, what trade lines that report to Experian? I only need one more to report. What's trade lines that report to Experian? So there's certain, okay, send an email to credit@capitalbeez.com. Credit@capitalbeez.com. Ask that question. I'll show you the list of trade lines that we have for sale, and we'll let you know. And then it will show you which ones report. All right. Over here in Facebook, we got what's the best business credit card to get? And I got so many that it's hard to say. But I love Amex Gold. Why do I love Amex Gold even more than Amex Platinum? Because the Gold, you get like 5x points for marketing. And when you're running ads, I'm sorry, not marketing, but for running ads. When you're running ads, it's gonna generate more business, right? So now you're getting all these points, you're generating business, which is cash flowing, and now you got points that you can use to travel and all this type of stuff. So I love the Amex Gold. I also love, what else? Chase Sapphire. Love it. The Chat Sapphire Preferred. Definitely two of the best ones. In this wallet, the one that I keep pulling up, I got nothing but like Bank of America ones in here. Let's take down this. Here's my Sigma card. Blue Fire, you know, all my frat. Ooh, Capital on Tap. This is a great one too. This is a fintech also. But I got a bunch of Bank of America ones in this one for different companies and stuff. And this one, I don't know. I like them in certain cases, right? It depends on what you want to use it for. That's why I have different, card holders for each, because it depends on what I'm using it for. Some I use for cash back, some I use for points, some I use for, different types of purchases. You got to be strategic with this. This is not just, hey, go get a bunch of cards and run up money. Think about what you're doing each time. All right, let's see. I want to get my credit right and grow my business. Definitely do that. Hit up my team, credit@capitalbeez.com, and we can help you too. Queenie North Philly, business credit. What do you want to know about business credit? OC Bold, how long will the course opportunity be open? Now, the course forever. I'll open it back. It's going to be perpetual. The roundtable and the academy merge together. And if you always tune into my lives, sometimes I run little specials. Not much because, the value is immense. Just selling the ebooks alone that I give you for free in there, you could easily, quadruple the cost that it would take you to get in there. That's not even before fixing your credit. Not even before the different business models. Not even before the different funding models, right? What's the easiest business card to get with no business credit for startups? With no business credit, it's going to rely on your PG. So that means you could go with Bank of America. Go with any credit union that has a business banking account. What's one of my favorite ones? BB&T is pretty good. I got a ton of credit unions. Alliant Credit Union, Penn Fed, Navy Fed, United Nations Fed, UNFCU. I got all these credit unions. So if you're gonna get a PG, feel free to get either the 3 big banks, but I don't like the big banks first. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, but get all the credit unions. What's another fintech that operates like Capital on Tap? So Clearco that I mentioned earlier is definitely a great one. And that one operates even better than Capital on top. Make sure you love it, and also make sure it's lucrative from a financial standpoint. Old Brown BTF for sure. Sugar Wolf 55, yes, capitalbeez.com, you got it. How do you feel about the change the banks and the government wants to do? Wants to do to how your credit score is made up? Ooh, if that happens, listen, here's my thing. As an entrepreneur, shit happens all the time. As a matter of fact, last month was one of the worst months that I've had for Dominicus Motors with the exotic cars and stuff, because I'm in South Florida, in Miami. COVID been spiking, and it's rainy season, and it was pouring all last month, so less people were renting. If I didn't have enough cash flow from other businesses or from credit or whatever to cover myself until things pick up, it would suck, right? So we don't let these things stop us. So yes, it's gonna be a big change if the government does mess with how credit score is made up. They may remove the credit bureaus and only make the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, report your credit. Then how do we fight them if they're the ones making the laws? So, but I don't care. I'm gonna find a way. You know what I'm saying? I don't know it yet, but I'm gonna find a way. What about TransUnion? Because there's a little tough. I called twice. Yeah, so that's what I was telling you before. TransUnion and Equifax are harder. Still go through the fraud department, but they're a lot harder. There's some other ways, but I don't want to get into all of that online. Tap in with me. Hit me and hit up. Actually, send an email to credit@capitalbeez.com for that question as well. Queenie North Philly, they want you to send in the FTC report now. Yep. They want you to send in the identity theft report. But there's ways around it. We cite the laws again. I did all three of mine and sent the form in for all three. Be careful with that. Yes, I know people do it, but if it wasn't really identity theft and you send it in, just be careful with that, right? I would never recommend, even if I did that myself, I wouldn't recommend it publicly to anybody. So just be careful that you know what you're doing, okay? The reason why I asked that is because I'm a computer engineer, DJ, truck driver, and radio host, Melly the Specialist. I think you had asked where to start or something, and you're doing all of those things. Okay, computer engineer. Can you scale that? No. Not unless you have a computer engineering firm and you hire a bunch of people to do all the work for you. So then it doesn't even matter that you're a computer engineer. Most of the people who own businesses are not even specialists in the field of the business that they're in. They hire those specialists. You're a DJ, not scalable. It requires you to be there unless you have a DJ company where you send other DJs out. You're a truck driver, not scalable because you can't drive the truck, so get a fleet of trucks instead. I mean, you can only drive but so much, but get a fleet of trucks and hire drivers. Tap in with my guy Alex Good Energy to learn more about truck driving. Radio host also requires your time. I love coming on live and stuff, but as a radio host, it's gonna require your time. Yo, blessings, appreciate all y'all. Blue Fire, go mob. Build regional banking relationships for purposes of securing loan funding for future business growth and development. Old Brown BTF, tell them, bro, tell them. That's exactly how it rolls. All balled up, telling you it's all worth it. Join, y'all got to get in here. Enrique Vez, do you unfreeze secondaries when applying for new cards and loans? Secondary reporting bureaus. We didn't even get into all of that because that's about credit fixing. I just wanted y'all to know the basics of credit tonight. But another time we will get into how to fix your credit. Restore your credit is what I should say. But no, I don't always do it, to be honest. Unfreeze them when I'm applying. I still have some that's frozen now that I think about it, but I still get loans all the time. Divvy, what about Divvy? Divvy's cool, but I think it's overrated in my opinion. Tanks Official, what does a joint venture with Turo look like as far as money splits? So if you are a member of my roundtable, they get priority. Well, now, not just the roundtable, but the Institute, the Business Builders Institute, I get a 70-30 split where y'all keep 70 and we keep 30. If you're anyone else, you're lucky if you get 50-50 nowadays. Because as my guy Pushman Mitch always says, he's like, Beez, why are you giving people 60-40 or 50-50? They should be happy to be in your fleet. So he gives where he keeps 60 or he keeps 70, right? So if you're not in my roundtable, you got to go through an application process and we'll see if we take your car. But, my roundtable members come first. and they get 70% because I want everybody in the roundtable, not roundtable only, but institute. My business builders, let's say that. My business builders come first. All right. Divi, no PG, and they approve you. Correct. They do a soft pull though, but no PG required because it's fintech. Oh, Brown BTF, that's Oliver. Oh shit, I couldn't even tell. Switch from Facebook. Okay, that's what's good. Sure Will Fitness, what's good? Bon cheese, yo. Queenie, North Philly. Damn, I'm still catching up on stuff. Any other questions over here? None on the Facebook side. I don't know. Facebook, y'all ain't, stepping up. I'm trying to see who's gonna do better on, Facebook and IG. It works. LOL. Mine's had 33 inquiries that got deleted. For sure. Tevin said, go deeper into how the due date. Okay, good question, Tevin. How the due date for your business credit cards work for showing no credit utilization on your cards. Don't worry about your business credit card because you can apply this to your business credit card. But if you have a business credit card, it's not going to show utilization on your personal side. That's the power of having a business credit card. So what you need to know is 2 dates in particular. What time is it? Okay, 8:22. We're going to wrap it up soon. You need to know 2 dates in particular. This is how you hide your credit utilization. You need to know your statement date and your due date. The due date is just the date that you have a financial obligation to pay that institution that extended you credit. Okay? That's what the due date is. Too often we focus only on the due date. The due date just makes sure you don't get a late fee. That's all that does. The more important date is the statement date. So let's say you paid off something on the 15th because that was the due date, but your statement date was the 18th. That's the date that they generate your new statement. It's also the date that they report everything to the credit bureaus. So if your statement date was the 18th and you paid everything off on the 15th and it shows zero balance on the 15th, and then you're like, okay, I'm good. And then you go run up a grand on it on the 17th, the 18th is going to report that you have a grand on your credit, and your utilization is going to skyrocket and your credit score is going to drop. So it's important to remember that the statement date is extremely important. Now here's what you do. Get all your cards and change the due dates on your cards. Let's say you have a bunch of cards and they equal to $10,000 worth of credit. 1,000 here, 3,000 here, whatever. And they all equal to 10,000. Split them where 5,000 is here, 5,000 is here. Change the due dates to be about 12 days apart. So let's say the 10th and the 24th, right? Now, if you know how to liquidate your cards, which I did not explain tonight, but that's when we get into manufactured spend. If you know how to do that, you can manufacture spend from this group, pay over here when the statement date is about to show up, about to hit, and then it's going to report as zero. And then now you have this one with a balance, and then you're coming close to this statement date, or this statement date. Manufacture spend from here, pay off this, and then this reports as zero, and this gives you time if you need to do this, where you're hiding your credit utilization so that your credit score stays high because you're rotating it. How do you do manufactured spend? Not going to explain that tonight. All right, that's a different discussion. We talk about that in the Business Builders Institute, on the roundtable, in the academy, everything. Now, BBI is where it's at. Sonia, what's good, Sonia? That's another member of my roundtable right there. If you're not already become a business builder, and you won't be disappointed. That's what's up. Let them know. All right. So that's really it about the utilization stuff. You split the amounts. You change the dates so that they're about 12 days apart, so you get time between the two. You liquidate from one group, pay off the next. When the statement date is gonna hit, it reports as zero. Your utilization stays low, or keep it between 2 and 6%. Your utilization stays low, your credit score stays high, even though you got debt right now. But I don't recommend this because I recommend using business credit and getting 12, 18 month interest-free cards. You feel me? After this live, I have to find your group on Facebook, Queenie North Philly. if you're talking about the Business Builders Institute, the best way to do that is on IG, go to, right on my profile, you're gonna see a button that says text me. Go there and then ask more questions about the Institute. And then, we'll help you to get in. Very Limitless, appreciate you. Queenie, North Philly, yes, my personal credit not moving. Now I forgot what that question was, Queenie, North Philly. I'm sorry, I'm still catching up. Speedway Dave, I just got 4 cars with all my secondaries frozen. Exactly. Jerry Harris, my brother, man, what's good, fam? Hope all is well. Business Builder Brit, yeah, she said being a business builder is 100% worth it. Big Troom, CEO. I never know how to pronounce that properly. Is it Troom, Trumie, Trume? I'm not sure. My guy, CEO. He said, get a bottle tonight. Can't wait for this merge. Yep. You can, as of tomorrow, you can come into the roundtable since you were on the academy side. So be there tomorrow. We have a great discussion on real estate tomorrow that y'all gonna love. When you're starting off, personal credit is important, 100%, because that's the foundation to help you get the business credit, and you gotta make this personal credit strong. So first thing to do is to fix the credit. Tevin said, yeah, sorry, meant personal. Oh, okay, from before, all right? All right, you the best, thank you. Appreciate you, thank you so much. Beez, if I apply for a biz credit card, should I put, I have a higher income than I really do to higher limit, to get a higher limit, or is it based on my personal credit card limit? If you apply for a business credit card, okay, I can't tell you to lie on here, but yes, sometimes I do put a higher income, but you have to know which banks to do that for. If you do it with Amex and you put it like 100,000 and you're only making 50,000, sometimes they'll do a review. Even if you get approved, they'll do a review later and ask for more paperwork. So you gotta know which ones to do it with, and you gotta know what those limits are. I can't tell you all of them on here, although I will share information here and there, but Roundtable, Academy, Institute, let's go. All right, damn, am I not caught up yet? Casamigos, I know you happy, going to sign up. Queenie, love to see you on there. Old Brown TF, yo, Oliver said DB number, depending on the, okay, when he says this, depending on the type of business you're operating, there's this thing called a SIC or NAICS code, right? This is how they categorize you when you start your business. So now when you go into the bank, the banks are gonna be like, oh, they say, oh, what do you do? That's great, you started a business, what are you guys doing? And then you're like, oh yeah, we fixing credit. Don't do that, because now they gonna immediately find the SIC code that's assigned to that, and then they're gonna categorize you that way, and then you're gonna get less lending, less funding. There's certain types of industries that are restricted, some that are completely won't lend to you. If you got a business in marijuana in the cannabis industry, banks can't do it because it's federally illegal right now, so they'll completely deny you. If you got certain businesses, even a trucking business, and you tell them it's trucking, if the name of your company is Beez Trucking Business, they're gonna be like, oh, you're in trucking. Well, we're gonna put this SIC code to you, and we're gonna give you less money. Because trucking is actually a higher liability, while those big ass trucks is driving on the road, and you have the liability of getting somebody killed and stuff. How can I get another consultant started the E2 process and have a little trouble with funding? I'm currently in Maryland. How can I get another consultant started the E2 process and have a little trouble with funding? I'm currently in Maryland. Tevin, I gotta tell you more, because you need to join the roundtable, bro. Join the academy, because Tevin have some great questions. But I don't understand that one as much. Let me keep going. All right, Queen North Philly, boss, when you come into Canada. Well, Canada finally opened up again, so I might just have to do that soon. Okay, finally, I think I caught up. It's Trumie. I don't know, my bad. Bhead 1914-2, is that frat? Thank you to all the brothers and sorors that joined the call tonight. Please make sure that you all support. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you so much. Listen, woo, I'm tired now. We hit 8:30. I gotta cut it out. I need water. Thank you, everybody, for tapping in. Hold up, I saw one last question. I'm gonna give this one because this person did it the right way. They said, how to get money for new businesses with bad credit. How to get money for new businesses with bad credit. You gotta restore your credit first and foremost. That's why it starts with that. Restore your credit so that you could then use it for funding for everything else that you need. All right. So hold on, here we got. What about marketing? Is that a good code? Yeah, marketing's okay because it's digital, right? So, but I prefer when I start a new company, I make the name of my company generic, Beez Enterprise, instead of Beez Credit Repair, Beez Trucking, Beez whatever. Nope, Beez Enterprise. And then when they ask me what I do, business consulting. I could be in credit repair. I'm consulting you on your credit. I could be in trucking. I'm consulting you on your goods that you're being delivered. So use the SIC code. Choose the SIC code that you want to be your business to be associated with. Make it more around consulting. Make it more generic. Excuse me. And make the name of your company as generic as possible. Right? This will get you more funding. Yo, appreciate you, Enrique, Vez, Oliver, Babyhead, my brother, fam. Appreciate you all. Thank you for joining me today. Another Motivational Monday with Beez Talks. Today was all about credit. Next week, we're going to go into something even better. I ain't going to tell you. It's going to be a surprise, but I got something great for y'all. Thank you for joining. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you go on IG and tap the button that says text me. Get into my community. I can talk to you there. Have patience with me too, please. And much love, y'all. Hey, have a great week. Make sure you're doing something. Whatever you do, don't sit back. We can't live the same year over and over and call it life. So make sure you are reaching those goals. Let's go. Peace out, y'all. Let me see how I end all of this. Hold on. All right, that was it. Peace out, IG. Let's go.